All right, but look, hey man, Senator. Well, I first
Ruben's
met.
fine.
I know, but I first met you as congressman, and then
Yep.
we became friends.
Friends. Yep.
About some of the worst days of my life, your life too.
Yep.
But I got I think the last time I saw you in person, we were in Arizona, and we were at an IHOP. We were at
That's
IHOP
right.
together.
My IHOP.
Your IHOP. That's right,
Yeah.
man. I was looking for a Waffle House.
We're an IHOP family. Thank you.
But listen, we had the opportunity to, I was so happy to help you out with your race, and not that you needed much help. You're an amazing public servant, obviously before even Congress, with your time serving this country. Just your story is just amazing, brother, and it's so good to talk to you. And I told you, I texted you congratulations, but face to face, congratulations. You are doing the people of Arizona proud, and you're also doing the work of the country. You're making people in the country proud. One thing personal that I want to talk about, obviously we're going to talk about the government shutdown, but I want to thank you for your efforts to talk about with Ashley Babbitt and the military honors. We can't see, it just gets more and more crazy with this administration, the things that they're doing to try to whitewash what happened on January 6th. So thank you for standing up. Can you talk a little bit about that? Is that resolution dead? Is it any support?
Well, no, we still don't know, actually. So after they tried to kill the resolution, then I put it onto the defense budget amendment. And now the Republicans are trying to figure out a way to get it out of the defense budget. And so I'm still trying to keep it in and force the vote. It's very simple. Like Democrats, Republicans, Independents, I serve with all of them, right? I saw real men, and not to be sexist, but I mostly serve with men, and actually I serve with a couple women too, now I think about it. Men and women that put their lives on the line, serve this country honorably. Too many of my friends died and were buried military honors for this traitor, Ashley Babbitt, to get military honors for her funeral. And I know how nasty this is for their side. The fact is, like, I went after her, and they got the dumbest human, a senator named Tuberville from Alabama, who I think played football without a helmet, to come down and oppose my UC because they couldn't get anybody else to do it. And now we're trying to attach to the defense budget, and they're going to have to figure out how to stop me. And I'm not going to make this easy for them. And it's not because I want to be problematic, because like what you're doing is wrong, right? This person was a fucking traitor, right? If this had been a Democrat, they would have been running to high heavens and trying to destroy this person's whole, persona, career, everything. But the fact is, in order for the story of 2020, the January 6th story to be sanitized, and for it not to be a violent insurrection, and for Donald Trump not to steal an election, and for all the people to be involved, the person that was killed at it has to be an innocent victim, right? And the way to be, for them to be an innocent victim, is for them to be a patriot, and by giving my full military honor. She's not a patriot. She's a fucking traitor. And I don't have to lie. I don't have to pretend to lie. I don't have to play along with this bullshit. And I'm not going to. So I may not win in the end, but I'm going to make this as fucking difficult for all of them as possible.
Well, that's why
Pete hasn't said shit about it. Vice President Vance, who can't shut his mouth at all, hasn't said shit about it. Trump, who basically did pardon all those assholes that beat you guys up, hasn't said shit about it, because they know they're in the wrong. They're just trying to placate their little weird base that's trying to rewrite January 20th. She is a traitor. She died a traitor. I want to make sure she remembers a traitor for the rest of her life, and I have zero regrets about that.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you standing up for the officers, and not even just the officers, because January 6th, I mean, people would say they turned.
It's not the officers. It's not just the officers. It's the country. It's the Constitution. It's the idea that they tried to literally do what other countries have been trying to do to us for hundreds of years, and a bunch of dickheads basically decided to take it upon their own. And one police officer stood between a lot of these crazies getting to members of Congress and killing them. And he luckily protected us. And unfortunately, Ashley Babbitt lost her life in that process. But you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. So the things they taught us in war, and look, I am a little glib about stuff like this, but like I saw a shit ton of combat, and you know, war sucks, and when you do stupid things, this is what happens. And this
and
she
the
did something
people,
stupid that day.
those honors are reserved for people that actually
Correct.
uphold their oath to their country. And thank you so much for doing that, because as you see, they are trying to rewrite what happened, and all you got to do is press play. Like, we don't need anybody to say anybody's
Exactly. Just press play.
Just watch
just press play.
and you tell me that's okay. So thank you for that. Thank you for being a fighter. And talking about being a fighter, this looming government shutdown. I wrote about it on my Substack today. And
you have a Substack? Look at you.
Man, I'm just trying to do a little bit of everything.
I love it.
Get my voice out there and just continue to fight the good fight, my friend. And
no, you are.
But we're seeing like every single. I was at the Capitol. I was a Capitol police officer for almost 16 years before I quit. So it wasn't just after January 6th, but we saw this shutdown stuff over and over a time. And it was always, in my opinion, not even my opinion, what really happened was Democrats coming to the rescue to save the Republicans. And explain to me and everybody listening, how is this shutdown different? It seems like this one, the Democrats have this time than back early in March or April, right before the.
March. No, I mean, look, in March we fucked up. I'm
glad that you said that, because a lot of people.
In March we fucked up, and like I voted against that CR, and I made it clear to my leadership, Schumer and the Democratic Senate leadership, that they fucked up and they gave in, and that caused a lot of repercussions, because Republicans, like playing poker, they knew when we were able to fold. And I made it very clear to my leadership that that's not how we're going to operate anymore, especially now. So what are we fighting for right now? This is the difference, right? When Republicans shut down the government, it's because they were trying to take away shit. We're trying to keep and or expand things. What are we trying to keep? Basic health care, to make sure that Americans that can't afford any more cost increases don't have more cost increases, specifically when it comes to their insurance premiums. In November, everyone's going to have open enrollment. And during that period, you have to go and start hunting for your health insurance if you're on the what we call open market. Some we call Obamacare. What do you want to call it? If we don't renew these premiums, millions, and I'm not exaggerating, millions of Americans are going to have their premiums increase $100 to $200 or even more per month, right? Right now, when Americans are barely struggling to make their payments, we're now going to say willingly, hey, here's an extra, $100, $200 a month, because these guys don't want to do it. Now, they'll bail out Argentina for $20 billion. By the way, Argentina has universal health care, but they will not take care of our American citizens, who all they want to do is be able to buy private insurance on the market, right?
Affordable.
And we help them with some of this cost, because if not, they're going to not have health insurance, many of them. They'll go and just drop off, and then they'll end up costing us more, because that means they don't go to doctors, they don't get checkups, they end up using the emergency room as their primary care. And so this is a dumb move. What's happening here is the Republicans want two things. Number one, they hate Obamacare because Obama passed it. And number two, they want to be able to find more savings so that way they can give more tax cuts. Those are the only two reasons why. And so we have a time period between now and November in order for us to pass this. And this is our leverage point, and we're going to use it. So I'm going to make sure that we have the best opportunity for people to have affordable health care. Okay.
I'm glad that you talked about a lot of people, like you said, they hate the name Obamacare, but they don't even realize it. Like, so the Medicare expansion, and I'll just use Wisconsin, it's Badger Care, but it's under the Affordable Health Care. And a lot of people don't even realize they're going to be losing their health.
And that's just I think Badger Care is probably the open market. I'm not sure if it's I'm not sure if it's the Medicaid expansion or it's their version of Medicaid. But whatever is the state version of the open market is, when it comes to the Affordable Health Care Act, when you go online to search for a plan for you and your family, that plan will be now higher. Right.
Yeah.
So every state has different plans. Every state has a different name for it. But I'm talking about the health insurance that you buy if you and your company buy for you, if you aren't on Medicaid or if you aren't on Medicare.
Yeah.
And so, these guys, the Republicans, have an option, right?
Yeah.
Continue to give the subsidies to these working class people so that way they can afford good health care, or they get to jack up their prices. And there is we can't go unring this bell once we get past November. It gets more difficult because of the way open enrollment works.
Yeah.
And in some ways, they just want this to happen so they can say, oh, well, it's too late, right? And now they're just fucking lying, saying that, oh, this is about illegal immigrants. No illegal immigrant gets a healthcare tax subsidy to buy an insurance program.
It's just
not
flat
the
out
case.
lying. It doesn't happen.
It's just flat out lying because they can't really tell an American citizen, I'm going to jack up your healthcare premiums because I hate Obamacare and because I want to give more tax cuts to rich. They can't say that, so they're just going to lie about illegal immigrants taking this subsidy, which doesn't exist.
So this is just kind of a continuation of owning the libs, as they say. So look, nobody really wants a government shutdown. Nobody really roots for that.
Nobody wants that. Of course not. I have a lot of friends who work for the government. I don't want them to miss payments.
People's going to lose their jobs. Our service members'
100%.
benefits are going to be so. But this is not the way out. This is like we're not giving you a way out. There are ramifications for the Republican Party doing what they're doing now, and shutting down the government is a ramification.
The Republicans probably think that that we'll fold because we have always folded, because we do care about the government worker, the military, the veteran, everything else like that. And I don't disagree. The problem is right now there are tens of millions of Americans that are going to have their healthcare premiums just jacked up starting in January. And if there wasn't such a consequential thing that we know required action from both sides, that's going to save people's opportunity, checkbook lives for those that will quit being on Obamacare. This is why we have to fight now.
Yeah, so the ramifications of Democrats folding are millions and millions of people's healthcare costs being unaffordable. But what are the ramifications of you all not folding and going into a shutdown? What should people be worried about? Like everybody knows the parks closed and this and that. You can't go to the monuments, all that. I mean, yeah. But what are the real?
It's hard to this presidency has to figure that out. The thing is, like, their threat is we're going to start firing people arbitrarily. Like, bro, you guys have been doing that all year.
Exactly. It's already happening.
You've been firing. Like, you want to talk about shutdowns? Like, my national parks have like garbage that are overflowing. We have people that haven't seen a park ranger forever because they haven't hired park rangers. Like, so their threats of like, oh, we're going to fire people. You literally just got rid of the Department of Education.
Yeah.
So so your threat is ringing hollow. And I just got the notice that the second vote came up, Harry.
Oh, you
yeah, I take one more question before. I'm sorry, Harry. I gotta.
No, so a lot of people, one more time. So, but thank you for this time. I really appreciate it. But the last thing, a lot of people have talked about Donald Trump's unchecked power. And if the government shut down, does that strengthen this unchecked power that he has? Are there still guardrails or checks and balances with the government shutdown? What can Donald Trump do?
There's no guardrails now, Harry.
Yeah.
There's no guardrails now. Who are the guardrails? Supreme Court? Those guys are fucking useless.
Yeah.
Like who
the
only guardrail right now are the American people, and us to be able to point out to American people, this guy and his lackeys are going to increase your healthcare premiums by choice. We need to use the shutdown to actually run that point home, because at least then Americans understand like what we're actually fighting for. We're actually fighting for Americans to have affordable healthcare. Republicans are going to jack up your premiums. That's it. That's it. This is a very simple thing. They just gave $20 billion away to Argentina, right? But you can't find $20 billion to keep the premiums at the level that you need to for Americans for at least 1 year.
Yeah.
You'd rather take care of the crazy dude in Argentina running around the freaking chainsaw, but making sure that, mama and papa from Illinois, from, Arizona, from, whatever state they're from, can find affordable healthcare. That's not a priority. And again, the U.S. government, led by Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, is subsidizing Argentinian universal health care, but is not supporting our private healthcare system, right?
Absolutely.
That's the most socialistic shit that is happening right now.
They say
I gotta go, Harry.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you. Thank you for your time. The Republicans own this shutdown. They have the ability to stop it. So thank you, Ruben.
buddy.
I love you, brother. I'll see you soon, my friend.
Adios, bye.
Bye.